Good evening, YouTube. This is Man Already George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Well, a while ago I was on YouTube just doing a little surfing, checking out what's going on, and I saw this ballot. It was a survey, and you see here is we're getting another WrestleMania World Title Victory Tournament around one matchup. Which World Championship matchup is the best? Now, now here are the two choices. One is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 32, or Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6. When I put my vote in, and you see the little blue markers, I voted for Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. 34 votes. While Sasha, Flair, and Banks got, Lynch, Flair, and Banks got 66. Who in the holy hell voted for that? I mean, you know, I know I'm gonna get some backlash from a lot of feminists and whatever else, but I mean, you gotta be brain dead to think Sasha Banks and Becky, the chick who calls herself the man, which she's not a man, she's a woman, and Charlotte Flair, who can't even carry her father's robe, is comparison to the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan. See, I grew up in that era. I grew up with those guys. The Hulk Hogans, the Ultimate Warriors, the Ronnie Pipers, the Ric Flairs, the Undertakers. That was wrestling, not the crap's on now. That's why I don't really watch wrestling much anymore. You know, this was one of the greatest events in wrestling history. And, I didn't really go out because, like I said, back then when I was growing up, we were poor and we couldn't afford pay-per-view. But generally, most of the time, they showed the event later, months later, on free television. Like, I remember there used to be a show called Saturday Night Superstars, where they usually showed, they usually back then, they used to show the pre-wrestling show, back in the day. And sometimes there's some networks will show WWF, not WWE, events that you couldn't see on the pay per view if you didn't have it. Now this thing was just something that happened, because back WWE, which is now, was trying to push more of the females, and that's fair. That's all right because I know there's not a lot, not other than maybe Fabulous Moolah, Renee Richter, and a couple others. There's not a lot of women that are known in the WWF era of wrestling. But we all know that Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Ric Flair, and Charlotte Flair are the big superstars. But their wrestling match is not comparison. There are other wrestling matches that are even greater than theirs. I don't even know why they're even on the list. They shouldn't even be on the list. No offense to Becky, no offense to Charlotte, no offense to Sasha Banks, you shouldn't even be in the top 50. Truthfully, not in the top 50. At the most, maybe, you're in the top 100, I think, of great events in WrestleMania history, but not with the same league with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. This was a great event in history. And, WrestleMania was only barely 6 years old, when it started. It was one of the greatest events. It was equivalent of like the Wimbledon or the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl. Wrestling had to create something to kind of be a measure stick to mainstream sports, and this was WrestleMania was, and this is one of the almost like when the Bulls won the third championship, or just it's just something that's great. It's just amazing thing. And then it was just Hulk Hogan passing the torch to someone like Ultimate Warrior. Rest in peace to the Warrior. He was a great wrestler. I used to love him as a kid. I remember that song, dung, 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 dung. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it was just a classic. So, like I said, no offense to WE. I know, it's about them trying to promote the women, but the fact is, you could not put those three women up against these two men. You know, no offense. No, pretty much it is offense. It is really offense to real wrestling fans who grew up watching these two men, who grew up watching real wrestling. And that's why I didn't even watch WWE. WWE, not WWF, WWE. You know, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. As you know, I think in a few months, I think you're supposed to have the WWE Hall of Fame, and I don't know why. This is it's I don't watch it that much anymore, but I'm gonna put the link in the description, and I want all my true wrestling fans do me a favor, vote for Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Push, like I said, vote for that, because whoever vote on these are mostly young cats who never grew up watching real wrestling. They watch the watered down stuff. They watch the stuff that they think is wrestling. No, it's wrestling. It's wrestling and what they think is wrestling, not wrestling what we know. No one under 30 should have voted in this thing. They should have put an age limit. Just young kids and simps. But like I said, it's just an embarrassment as any wrestling fan that how 66% people voted over this classic scene. As I see Hulk Hogan hand the title to the Ultimate Warrior. It's a damn shame, people. And it's just something wrong with it. This shit man all over George Page. Don't like, don't subscribe. I'm out.